We all know Henry Ford for establishing the Ford Motor Company in Detroit, Michigan, or maybe the invention of the assembly line. But another invention of his happens to be the 5-day work week, which was introduced during the Industrial Revolution in 1926. This was established to protect workers from exploitation and ensure a better work-life balance. This was due to major working hazards, long hours, and numerous inadequate safety measures in most workplace environments. Now, don't worry, this is not a history lesson and I'm not trying to bore you. But this is all to say that this plan was adopted to aid working class Americans almost a century ago. We are still using this system in a world that doesn't exist and has not existed for a long time. But why are we doing this? The modern workforce is not running on factory schedules and brunt labor anymore. It runs on creativity, focus, and mental energy. This is why we, as American working class citizens, should move on from the 5-day work week and adopt a 4-day work week to maximize our efficiency and to finally work smarter and not longer, producing stronger results and healthier people. The model of the 5-day work week, like previously mentioned, was to accommodate working citizens almost a century ago. This model is therefore outdated and doesn't adhere to today's modern approach of the digital world. The result we face is constant burnout, which many of us are forced to endure on a weekly or monthly basis. This phenomenon is starting to become such a problem in our society. The World Health Organization does recognize this as an occupational phenomenon in the International Classification of Diseases. However, it is not a medical condition. According to the WHO, burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. It is characterized by 3 dimensions: exhaustion, negativity related to one's job, and reduced job efficacy. Working 40 hours a week, which equates to about 71% of the year, doesn't provide enough time, balance, or energy to live life. As we work the regular 40-hour work week, much of the time spills over into our devotion of the job. Some of this would include commuting, getting ready for work, and other extra tasks that fall in between. Obviously, this adds up more than what we put in our timesheet, which would be 40 hours. A survey done by StatSoft, which use a professional tool known as Statistica, created by TIBCO, it extracts useful data and statistics, and it found that the 2 biggest causes of stress from work are lack of work-life balance and overwork. These 2 frustrations are the top 2 leading issues as well, beating out low pay, lack of support, or bad management. A report that was ran at the University of Melbourne called The Effect of Working Hours on Cognitive Ability and Work demonstrated that brain function declines after working 25 to 30 hours per week, showing that working long hours do not equal better performance. Like many people report seeing a decline in focus, accuracy, and overall quality of work. Lastly, the 5-day week is a tool to simply trick most of the population by giving up 5 days in exchange for 2. The devotion employees show is often exploited by keeping working people busy during the week, then giving us time to fill a void by spending money on those 2 free days, then relying on us to continue to go back to work to sustain our lifestyles. This is where we become trapped and we lose what matters most, our time and freedom. With ongoing changes in technology, demographics, and societal values we see each year, it is important to adapt to these shifts and embrace true flexibility and innovation, which can influence employees to become more productive and create a more fulfilling culture for all. Thankfully, there have been many studies and experiments that show where adopting a 4-day work week has been a success. A scientific study done by Nature.com shows that a 6-month trial in 6 countries of working 4 days a week reduced burnout, increased job satisfaction, and improved mental and physical health. 4DWG, 4-Day Week Global, is a non-profit organization that actively conducts studies and experiments where they see 4-day work weeks being implemented in companies in Ireland, New Zealand, Australia, United States, the UK, and Canada. which are all reporting an improvement in productivity and growth in revenue. Workers also reported being less stressed and burnt out and having overall positive effects on their mental health. Iceland has been one of the most successful countries when it comes to applying progressive practices. In 2015 to 2019, which is obviously pre-COVID, the Reykjavik City Council and the national government of Iceland implemented trials for a 4-day workweek, which included 2,500 workers over multiple sectors of the workforce, being hospitals, police officers, and teachers. The workers reported feeling healthier and having a better balance as they were able to see their families more often and complete household chores. Will Strong, the director of research at Autonomy in Iceland, said that it shows that the public sector is ripe for being a pioneer of shorter working weeks, and lessons can be learned for other governments. Because of the success that was seen in this experiment, Spain also adopted a plan due to the challenges faced from coronavirus. In May of 2025, a new law was proposed and accepted to reduce the work week to 37.5 hours. As we can see, real companies and governments have accepted and adapted to a new and improved way of working in modern society. So let's take a moment to look ahead. Imagine what your typical work week would look like. You find yourself caught up with deadlines, your inbox is neat, and all emails are read. And you still have enough mental capacity to be the best person you can be for your family and loved ones. You realize that tomorrow is indeed a work day, but you don't have work. You begin to brainstorm what other ways can you make use of your time. This is where you can declutter your life by doing pesky household chores. You can take care of your children or pets. You can maintain a healthy lifestyle by incorporating exercise, or you can just simply take a rest day without guilt. With this extra day, you will be more inclined to show up for work, rested, sharper, and more efficient, and more dependable, as the 4-day work week doesn't shrink ambition, it refuels it. Now let's picture the opposite. Nothing changes and we're still on our 5-day grind. Day in, day out, year after year. Your inbox is growing, commutes getting longer, and the burnout gets stronger. That's where most of us find ourselves now. What's the solution? Try a relaxing activity, meditation, going to the local bar or dispensary. Then the weekend comes, where this is supposed to be a recovery session, but instead now you have to live your life and complete weekly tasks that couldn't be completed during the week. When will you really have time for real rest? We have seen the American working class work themselves to the bone over what it means to go to work and provide for their families. The 4-day work week doesn't just offer more time. It invites you to live a smarter and healthier lifestyle that values balance and efficiency over amount of hours worked. Now, what do we do? Knowing what we know now, we see that the evidence is in, the technology exists, and the workforce is ready. What's next is for society to let go of a 20th century process that doesn't suit us humans any longer. And it starts with us. Closed mouths don't get fed. This applies here. Real change like this begins with conversations where people are willing to challenge an outdated norm. Start by going to leadership in your workplace and advocate for pilot programs, where jobs install temporary processes of new initiatives where data can be gathered and stored for this type of change. Take your findings to leadership and advocate for this change. Or, if you find yourself in a leadership position, bring attention to this and campaign this change to your subordinates and recruiting team. This could attract new and more talented employees, or you can simply locate and apply to companies that offer 4-day work weeks by going to 4dayworkweek.companies.com. Or simply supporting these types of companies and policies, speaking up and advocating for change can go a long way when change needs to be made. The standard work procedure that was instilled in us 99 years ago is still prevalent today. This was developed because the standard workday was 6 days, 10 to 12-hour days. If we knew we needed change then why wouldn't we need change now? The world now has technology that allows us to work faster and smarter, so it should allow us to live better.